So, John Clark in Killaloe, 18th of November. I've just drawn a quick sketch of the way his mechanical is laid out. The shadow there. So we have the boiler with a big red pump outside, and that's feeding everything, the four areas. So firstly we have the ground floor manifold, which is in the old hallway. In front of that, actually, we have another little manifold that we're using one port of, and we're 90% sure that that is feeding the Rads in the attic, subject to final verification. And then it's also feeding the first floor underfloor. There are two manifolds and two pumps on the first floor. The first one is in the new part of the house, and that's all working fine. The second one, we've done a separate video, these two in a separate video, and that's also fine now. It wasn't working. That's the master bedroom and the bedroom beside it. And then finally we have a line up to the landing Rads. So starting with the ground floor manifold, that's physically here. It's the manifold at the back, and that feeds all the underfloor in the hallway and all those rooms and the kitchen and dining. And this main hallway wasn't working, so for today what we've done is we've taken the actuator heads off the back there, and we now have some flow on the back there, and I'd expect to get some heat in that area. We can see also that the kitchen areas here, those ones, we can see the little center grey piece is down, so that means they're off, and that differs from, at the moment, those two on the right. I'm not sure if you can make out, but those two are up, so they're on. Not sure what's on there. So that's the ground floor. I think we've got that working temporarily for the moment. The only thing we'd like to do mechanically with that is to somehow try and get two isolating valves in there. That may not be so easy because it's so crowded in there. And that's those two valves. Sorry, I'll just get it right there now. That's those two red ones there that I've shown in the diagram. The next thing then is we think that this bit here, this bit here is, this manifold is feeding, we think, the Rads in the attic. So we think that this manifold and this pump are all, so the flow and return, main flow and return come in here, and the only output from it are those two beige pipes here, which go up along, and I've just labelled them there. About 80–90% sure that they are feeding the Rads in the attic, and we're not getting a very good flow rate out of that flow meter, so we don't know where the resistance is exactly. But there are a number of things with this. Firstly, the pump is a little small, and that's a 4-meter pump and should be replaced with a 6-meter pump. We can get rid of all of that manifold because that's mixing the radiator flow down to a lower temperature. We don't need it. It's adding flow resistance to flow, and we can measure whether there is proper flow there or not. So we'll replace all that with just a proper 6-meter. Take out that pump, and we can use it elsewhere. And we'll just put one pump in there for the Rads in the attic. That's the next bit there, and then the first floor underfloor all works fine at the moment, so we don't have any mods to make there, apart from we'll put two valves in here for isolating it. There's no isolation valves, so the flow and return going up there are this in here. That's the flow, and that one there is the flow, and the return is back in there somewhere. We'll have to figure it out in real life. So we need to get two valves to quarter, and two valves on that as well to isolate it. And then finally, we believe the last leg is the landing rads. So we think that this is it here, this white pipe, and the corresponding return is back there somewhere as well. And there's no isolating valves in that either. So if we were training the system down to do anything, then we'd put isolating valves on all of those things, certainly down here and where possible upstairs as well. The valves aren't expensive, but they're huge cost saver in terms of maintenance in the future. I think that's it in summary for here.